Hello YouTube, welcome back from my stoep. I'm relaxing here with a Stanwell Hans Christian Andersen. It is actually a pipe that came with two stems. One is a long one as for a church warden, and I'm smoking Balkan Sobrani, a 3-year-old Balkan Sobrani. So I'm relaxing with that. Someone asked me to say something about what we call vitamin N. Take note, there is no such vitamin, but we often talk about vitamin N and the nicotine content of in pipe tobacco. Now, I'm probably not the best person to talk about this, as I've actually never smoked cigarettes and never inhaled and never really had a dependency or a kick from nicotine, or that I know of. And often when people talk about a tobacco being a nicotine bomb, I rarely noticed it. I've never noticed that it hit me that much as a nicotine bomb. That's why I'm thinking I'm probably not the best person. But let me give you my opinion and my opinion on this topic. But as I said, there are plenty of knowledgeable people and websites and articles about nicotine content and nicotine pipes in pipe tobacco on the internet, where you can Google. So I'm going to give you what I know. What I know is that the higher the sugar level or content of a tobacco, the lower the nicotine, and obviously vice versa. So this means that this one is nearly finished. This means that Virginia has the lowest nicotine content because of the high sugar content, but that Burley has got the highest nicotine content of all tobaccos, and I think second in row is Kentucky. And what I also know is that the curing of tobacco, or the curing method, can have an effect on the nicotine content. For example, a flue-cured tobacco has the lowest nicotine, while a fire-cured tobacco has the highest nicotine content. But again, it will also depend on which tobacco. But that's just the general rule of thumb. I've also read in an article from Ras Oulet that a spicy, peppery tobacco tastes like that, or you get the spicy, peppery due to a higher nicotine content in that tobacco. So whenever you smoke a English blend or a Balkan blend with a noticeable spicy, peppery taste, it will probably have a higher nicotine content than those that you don't get from those that hasn't got the spicy, peppery flavors. Now, some of the effects of nicotine, which nicotine can cause, is of course headache and lightheadedness and even hiccups. But again, remember, I believe in a holistic approach to a person's body and to life in general, and systems thinking. And with that I mean, in the old days we concentrated on one thing, and we thought, fix this one thing and it will fix everything. For example, when they realized that fat can cause cholesterol, the tendency was reduce the fat. It's only now that we realize, but maybe that's not the only answer. There's few other things that plays a role, and there are good fats, and your body does need some fat from time to time. So, there's a holistic approach for me to everything in life, and then also to obviously to this. So yes, nicotine can be bad, but it is a holistic systems approach to some that will have a worse effect than in others. And then, what I also know, and contrary to what many people want us to believe, is that nicotine does have some benefits, especially if you go and read the history of nicotine and where they came from. 1492, I think, was the first noticeable finding of someone smoking or using a leaf of a plant. And there was a French doctor who also applied nicotine to a patient, and with very positive results. So there are some benefits, but please don't quote me and don't take me wrong. I'm not saying it's not dangerous. Nicotine is dangerous. It is highly addictive, but it has been reported to have a calming effect on people because it's a stimulant. And it's also said that it helps with concentration and relaxation, and therefore it is also beneficial to people with ADHD, Alzheimer's, and obsessive compulsive disorders. For example, ADHD is indicated as being a lack of dopamine release in the body, and nicotine causes the release of endorphins and dopamine. So therefore it helps for ADHD and anxiety, and especially stress. Look at people who smoke cigarettes when they are highly stressed. It gives them a calming effect when they smoke a cigarette. Another fact that people also doesn't want to hear is that pipe tobacco and cigar smoking do release less vitamin than cigarettes, nicotine than cigarettes, vitamin N. And the reason for that is mainly because a cigarette smoker smokes more, I think, generally, than a person who smokes a pipe or a cigar. So, number one, the quantity is much more. Number two, by inhaling, the uptake in the body through the lungs are much higher concentrated than through the mucus in your mouth and other ways. So, and thirdly, the cigarette smoker, well, I believe at least that the additives and the paper and the tar that goes hand in hand with cigarettes are more dangerous and causes more damage together with the nicotine than, for example, a pipe or a cigar where those things are not there. And then lastly, many pipe smokers that do not inhale, and cigar smokers. So therefore, and if they do inhale, it is, you puff to keep your pipe lit, and then only after a while, if you do inhale, you will inhale. While a cigarette smoker inhale virtually every puff is inhaling. So I think those are the reasons why cigarette smoking is definitely more dangerous than pipe smoking, for these reasons of the nicotine uptake. So to me, nicotine does have some positive effects. It is dangerous, it is addictive, and one should caution or be aware of that the whole time. But let's get back to tobacco and pipe smoking tobacco and nicotine. My favorite tobaccos, as you by now know, are English blends and Balkan blends, and with high Latakia content. And Latakia is known to have the lowest nicotine content because Latakia has high sugar content, and therefore obviously a low nicotine content. Although you do get some Latakia that has higher content than others, but will never be the highest, like for example a Kentucky or a Burley tobacco. So people say that even if Latakia is fire cured, it still has a lower nicotine content due to the fact that Latakia per se has got a low nicotine content in general. Now, in terms of tobacco, I haven't tasted obviously all the tobacco ranges that are available in America or internationally. So I hear that Five Brothers are a real nicotine kick, and probably the strongest nicotine tobacco that you can get. I haven't tried it, so I wouldn't know, but from those that I do know, people say that Nightcap from Daniel, for example, are supposedly a high nicotine content. Now again, I haven't felt that. I like Nightcap a lot, and I smoked it in the morning, in the afternoon, after after dinner, and I haven't realized specifically. Maybe I wasn't noticing, but I haven't realized that nicotine kick which people supposedly complain about, for example, in Nightcap. Maybe I'm more tolerant to nicotine, I don't know, or maybe it's just because I don't know and realize that I get a nicotine kick. But yeah, that's my opinion on those. But generally, all the tobacco that I like are highly Latakia English blends, and for that reason, I suppose that they do not have a very high nicotine content. So friends, that's what I wanted to share with you today, is a little bit on vitamin N, or nicotine, in tobaccos and pipe smoking. I think, yes, it's dangerous, but look at it holistically in a system thinking way, and use moderately. And yeah, that's what I think and believe around nicotine and nicotine content in tobaccos. And I never inhale, I puff. Yes, I do get nicotine through my mouth and other ways, but I'm sure that the content or the uptake is fairly low. The last time I had a blood test, it actually still showed that I was not a smoker according to the medical aids definition, or how they measure those things. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, a little bit on nicotine and tobaccos, while enjoying this afternoon. So on that note, friends, thank you for watching, and please come back, subscribe, leave comments, differ from me. I know there's a lot of people who will differ from me, which is fine. Thank you, and enjoy your day. Keep puffing, and subscribe. Thanks. See you later. Bye-bye.